Another week, another division to break down. This week, Kirsten and I look at the Metropolitan division and give our predictions as to where we think those teams will rank. Plus, we answer your questions. All that and much more in this week's episode. As always, we're created by New Voice Studios, brought to you by SotaStick, presented by Talk North, Royal Credit Union, Livea, Jim Beam, and Grainbelt. This is Season 5, Episode 242.
At Jim Beam, they know the importance of tradition, like chanting, "Let's play hockey" prior to the start of each game, or playing the state of hockey anthem after a wild win. This season, raise one to your fan family with a bourbon that invites us all to come as friends and leave as family. Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey, the official bourbon whiskey partner of the Minnesota Wild and XL Energy Center. Drink smart. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2021. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Incorporated, Claremont, Kentucky.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Bardown Beauties, episode 242. I'm Jessi Pierce, writer for NHL.com, Fairgore extraordinaire this week. She's Kirsten Krull, in arena host. Also now sideline football and derby announcer. Detail us on all the other things that you have going that are non-hockey related.
So I'm really excited because this year I'm really early on dabbling my toes into other waters besides just hockey, which I've always wanted to do. I love hockey. Hockey's my favorite, but I've also always loved football. So every single week for the high school football season, I'm doing a pregame show with Randy Shaver. I'll just be kind of interacting with fans before the game, whatnot, doing a feature piece every week as well to coincide with that. So really excited about that. And then the opportunity came up for me to work the Viking Speedway in Alexandria Saturday night to do all of the interviews from Victory Lane, which a lot of people don't know, but I grew up watching NASCAR because of my dad. But also on my mom's side of the family, her brother and his family, they were into stock car racing and also NASCAR fans. So I know a bit about racing, not a ton, but that was a really cool experience.
So were you like in what do they call the track, like speaking to people, or what was the gig?
I was in Victory Lane. So I was like in the pit, in the pit down by, it was like this little checkered area the winners would pull up into, and just their car, they would jump out, do a little celly, and then I would just be like, what's up, dude?
One thing across all sports is cellies, so
yes,
we can get that down.
We can, and it's incredible. I was really hoping to see somebody backflip off their car. That didn't happen, but maybe I'll be back again.
If I were a racer, if I ever get the chance to race, I'll do that when I win.
I would pay money to see that.
I could do a somersault. I would look exactly like a panda bear. Have you ever seen those panda bears when they're all just like, just rolling around? That would be me.
A somersault would be very interesting to do off of the top of a car.
Uncoordinated. Classic. My week was a little less interesting. My kids started football. Hudson, the oldest, started flag football first year.
Quarterback.
The coach already told him he has the hair of a quarterback. So boom, his career's set. Love that for him. Also ran into Jared Spurgeon on Friday at the fair after I'd had consumed maybe a few too many beverages for me to be going up and saying hello. But
that's the best.
And I told them it was very funny because actually my buddy was with us and he was like, "Oh, that's Spurgeon right there." And I was like, "Hey, Jared." And again, like we're old time friends, but I was like, well, I told my friends, I called him Jared, so then it wouldn't draw too much attention to him if I said Spurgeon. So I thought that was very considerate of me.
That was very considerate. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. No, we had a good, nice, quick little chat. He was looking for beer himself. So
what a guy.
Maybe he said that because he could tell that I consumed a few.
But hey, it's still the off season right now. Please,
I was not working. I was not interviewing him in any capacity. It was a great time. I will go back. You've been to the fair once. You will go back a second time, you think?
I might be going back a couple more times. So here's the gist with the state fair. I was there. We're Monday morning. We're recording. I was there last night for Blake Shelton. So apologies in advance. My voice is going in and out because quite frankly, I was screaming last night. I was not singing. I was literally screaming. Blake Shelton, though, fantastic. I accidentally balled out and got really good seats. And so we were like just a few rows back from Blake Shelton. So that was really cool too. Love me some Blake Shelton. I lost it when he performed Austin in Ole Red. That's when I really started screaming. But no, my mom's in town too. So we're either gonna go to the State Fair again today, or we're gonna go to Mall of America, pending the heat, the extreme heat we are currently having. And then I potentially might be going to John Party on Wednesday night. So
Nice.
yeah, we're just making the rounds.
You're just doing the damn thing. I'll go one more time with the kids, I think, because we usually do the adults only day, which turns into a ton of fun, and then a kids day. So yeah, we'll check it out. Maybe we'll see. I think we nailed it with our state fair foods, but I did have a couple people mention to me that we could have gone a little deeper. Like we could have made Brock Faber the all you can drink milk because he never quits, because he's always on the ice and he never runs out of time. You know, like,
ooh,
right? So good.
That.
So good.
I still stand by Midzi as all you can drink milk. I know
there was
you
somebody
switched it up to Kaprizov. I stand by Midzi.
One of our listeners had said that was their favorite. They thought that was the funniest one. So
But all you
probably
can drink
again,
milk.
because you can just picture it, right?
You can.
Stash. I love it. Love it. Still nothing going on in the off season aside from seeing players out at the state fair. Again, the Wild have their booth out there. 1 year we'll have our booth out there.
Oh, can you imagine?
Sounds like fun. Or
hopefully just not
exhausting.
as hot as today.
Yeah, no, that's true. But as always this week, we are going to continue with our preseason rankings. We have now done everybody in the West, which was the Pacific and Central. Go back and listen to the past 2 weeks for that. Let's move on to the Eastern Conference, and let's start with the Metropolitan Division, Kirsten. Now, this is always one of the toughest divisions in the National Hockey League, I think, without question. You've got the New York Rangers, and I'm going to go in the order that they finished last year, the 23-24 season. You got the Rangers, you got the Carolina Hurricanes, you got the New York Islanders, you got the Washington Capitals, then you've got the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Philadelphia Flyers, the New Jersey Devils, and rounding out that bottom with just 66 points last year was the Columbus Blue Jackets. First things first, I love the New York Rangers. Second,
I couldn't tell the
yeah
Mark Messier jersey behind you. I had
see
no
the Mark
idea.
Messier jersey. Yeah, that's
I had
another
no
team
idea.
that I just love. I love them. I think the Rangers and the Blue Jackets stay put. I think they are going to bookend the Metropolitan. That's just how I'm going to start this. I think that's what's going to happen. The rest is kind of, I don't know. We'll see. Who do you think finishes the bottom of the Metropolitan Division?
I mean, I'm not even going to try to be different than you because I completely agree. It's going to be Columbus again.
It's going to be Columbus.
Unfortunately, especially if, Patrick Laine moves on from them, that's also a loss Columbus will take. I don't think they've really done any big additions besides coaching with Dean Evison. Love Dino. Besides that, I don't think they've really done anything necessarily to make themselves better, respectfully.
I mean, yeah, Columbus, and it's unfortunate in the respect that Columbus is very much like the Minnesota Wild. They are the expansion teams at the same time, right? Like there's just a lot of similarities. They've added a couple veterans in Sean Monahan. I think having Don Waddle as your general manager is going to be beneficial because I think he is a guy very similar to Bill Guerin, where he knows the pieces to get to win. And I think Sean Monahan is going to be very good for them. Jack Johnson goes there. I think he's been there before, so that's fine, but he's old. Jack Johnson is my age, if not older than me, which means he's real freaking old. I don't see them, improving nearly enough. I'm curious to see how Dean Evson does with that young group and kind of just the misfits a little bit and how they kind of take to him. Again, Dean was a good coach. He's a player's coach, I think. So that's definitely good. But I think he really needs to get Johnny Gaudreau going. I think that was still a very shake my head. Why did Johnny Gaudreau want to go to Columbus situation? But yeah, I think that without question, they are my bottom of the barrel. Who finishes 7th then, Kirsten, in the Metropolitan?
I think Pittsburgh continues to kind of take a dive, especially after losing Gensel last year. Trading whatever, I forget, traded him to Carolina, whatever the exact situation was. I think it's not even, I think they're going through a bit more of a rebuild. Sidney Crosby, back end of his career, I think Pittsburgh takes more of a tumble, finishes 7th.
That's a big it's a big fall. And I think, yeah, it makes you curious as to how would Sidney Crosby feel about that, right? Like he wants to win one more. He deserves to probably win one more for all that he's done for the league and for Pittsburgh in general. But yeah, is that going to happen there? I don't see it. I don't think that it's going to be that hefty of a fall for them. I'm going to go with the Washington Capitals though, kind of on the similar trajectory, right? Like to me, Washington and Pittsburgh are so similar in the way that they're built. And maybe it's because you've had the long storied Ovechkin versus Crosby going on for years, but I feel like both of them have still those same core teams that they've had since they brought in Ovechkin and Crosby itself. So I'm going to go Washington takes that deep tumble down. I just their team again, similar is a little bit of a hodgepodge. They've bolstered with their defense. They've got Jacob Chicheron, but they added Pierre-Luc Dubois. PLD has not done anything for anybody. He's been nothing but kind of a problem, which is unfortunate because he's young and he's supposed to be really good, but that seems to have not really worked. They also added our boy Brandon Duhaime, which again, it's okay, good for him, great.
That's
But they
news
lose
to me. I'm going to be quite honest. I didn't know
yeah.
he was no
Oh yeah,
longer
Brandon
on
Duhaime's
the Avs.
he's going to be a Washington Capital. But they lose Nick Jensen, I think, on D, which is not going to help. Just around again, filling that role.
They also lost Jensen,
Nick Jensen,
St. Cloud State alumni.
Yeah,
Best friends with Nick Dowd.
I was going to say they have St. Cloud State Nick Dowd still on the team.
Yeah, but they were besties.
And Charlie Lindgren. Charlie was a St. Clouder, right?
He was my very first interview. Yes.
Yep. So they still have him, but that means they also still have Alex Ovechkin and Tom Wilson and TJ Oshie, and it's
Tom Wilson.
It's I don't know. I see them falling. They made the playoffs last year. I see them falling down to 7th. Who do you got for your 6th spot then?
Not much different than you, the Washington Capitals. I also think they take a tumble. I just think they're a little bit better than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. I will put the Pittsburgh Penguins and we'll just flip-flop those. Same reasons I just gave. I just think it's not there. I'm curious, but I just don't think it's there. Who's your 5th spot?
The Flyers. They'll bounce up a little bit. Nothing crazy. I think goaltending's still a big question mark for Philly. Torts, I want him to have success out in Philly. I think his players genuinely do love playing for him from what I've heard. They've got some young guys. I'm hoping they'll be a little bit more on the come up this season. So I have them at 5th.
I have the Flyers there as well. I think I'm really excited to see that 19-year-old Russian. You want me to try it?
Yes, I do.
Matvey Michkov. Anyway, he's supposed to be really good. Huge deal that he decided to come over there and join at just 19 years old. And I mean, that's the Flyers in general. They have a lot of really good young talent. Bobby Brink from Minnesota here, Noah Cates, Ryan Poehling, a lot of Minnesotans, Joel Farabee. No, he's not Minnesotan. He's American. But no, a lot of really good young talent. I would agree. Goaltending, huge question mark. Where can they go from there? And Torts is going to Torts his way through. But yeah, I think that's where they fall. Who is your 4th team in the Metropolitan Division?
New Jersey. I don't think they should have finished in any means 7th last season. I think they're much better than what they showed you last year. So maybe it's, again, more optimistic, but I see them shooting back up, at least getting a wild card spot.
You get Jack Hughes fully healthy. That's going to be huge. And you add Jacob Markstrom in net. That's astronomical. I agree. They had a lot going for them last year. Again, you hate to say injuries are the problem, but that was part of their big problem, losing some of their key players. Plus, you've got new coaching in position. Timo Meyer, Nico Herscher, Thomas Tatar, Dougie Hamilton, Brett Pesce. I mean, it's a good on paper team for sure. So I might even be a little low. Like I could even see them going up to 3, but I'm going to put them there for now. Who is your 3rd team? I feel like we're going to finish the same way.
We might
go
be
ahead
close.
And tell me about the Islanders.
No, actually, we're not, because I'm giving up on the Carolina Hurricanes officially.
You're giving up on the Hurricanes. That is
I'm giving up every single year. I'm like, they're cup bound. They're cup bound. We
You are.
love Rod the Bod. Gensel, put some respect on his name. I'm giving up on them, though. They let me down every single year. We love the Russian Stallion and Andrei Svechnikov. I can't do it anymore. I've picked you to win like the last 3 years and you just have let me down. So no, they're going to finish third in the Met.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm going with the Islanders. I think them adding Anthony Duclair is huge. But again, they're just they're a little old for me. So I'm surprised I didn't put them there, but I just love Anders Lee so much and Brock Nelson so much that I do. And I love Ilya Sorkin. And they've got Varlamov as a backup. They're pretty good. I like them, but I don't like them enough. I'm going to keep them at number 3, which means I put the Hurricanes as number 2.
Which means I put the Islanders at 2.
All right. And I would agree. I just can't give up on the Hurricanes, though. There's just always something there. I'm not ready for them.
I gave
Similar
up.
to Nashville. I keep pushing back Nashville. And then the Rangers, I don't feel like there's a huge explanation for the Rangers. They're just freaking good. They have the best goalie in the world. And then you've got Riley Smith added to that. And I just think the Rangers are a very good team.
Peter Laviolette, we love him.
We love us some Peter Laviolette. Igor Shesterkin, man. Good goalies will get you everything. Alex Lafreniere, maybe you'll find a groove. I don't know. Go Rangers. I love it. That's going to do it for our Metropolitan. It's going to be a short episode this week. You know, it's just,
why not?
It is what it is.
I'm not even going to ask ChatGPT this week because clearly they don't know what even they're doing.
It's just copy and paste from what they've said about all the other teams. A good core of they lack offensive depth. And do you know, I finally used ChatGPT for the first time last week because you encouraged, or like, because you did.
Yeah. What did you use it for?
I used it for that Instagram thing.
What Instagram thing?
Like the roast my Instagram feed. It was very funny. Yeah.
I tried doing that, but I didn't know how it said when I tried sending in the link for my Instagram profile, it said we can't do links.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. I just took a screenshot and then
but I couldn't figure out how to upload the screenshot into ChatGPT on the web browser on my phone.
Did this old dog learn a new trick that the young pup doesn't know? I don't know what I did. I just uploaded it. Yeah,
I don't know,
go into there and you click on the image and then like here, I have a picture of you that I could do. Let's just do that. That'll be fun.
Are you going to have it roast me?
Graphics. Yeah, I'm going to have it roast you.
No.
Let's see what it
At
says.
least do a really cute picture. It's going to be like she's...
It's a good picture. It's
Oh my God.
Oh, I see you're sporting the classic I'm in charge of the playlist, but accidentally left it on shuffle look. That headset is giving off serious I'm about to land a plane or at least direct someone to the nearest coffee shop vibes. Keep up the multitasking future air traffic controller.
Okay, I like that. That's fun. Okay.
To be fair, I'll upload one of me then too. It's gonna be a good one though. Just kidding.
Get out of here.
I'll upload the one of me drinking out of a baseball bat. See what that says. Roast me.
Oh, look at my bicep right now. Do you? I didn't mean to flex, but look at that. You see this?
You did mean to flex.
Just hold on. Look at me for a sec.
Yeah. That is impressive. Okay. I'm going to roast myself. It says, the timeless combination of I swear it's just water and these shorts have been through more barbecues than I have. That massive drink contraption says, I'm not here for a long time, but I'm definitely here for a good time. Looks like you're ready to conquer the backyard Olympics one sip at a time. Love this. This might be my new thing. I'm going to just keep doing this all day.
That's fun.
That's fun.
It's not even a roast.
No. And even to my Instagram thing, it wasn't that mean, so I'll take it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, some of your questions, and I think a few of you even roasted me in the questions, so appreciate that.
I love that. Thank you guys so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let's welcome Livea to the podium. How's that for an Olympic spin? Jessi Pierce of Bardown Beauties here to share some big and exciting news. That's right, Livea, my favorite weight loss control center, has now been named Minnesota's best weight loss control center for the 4th year in a row. That's gold. 4 years running. There's so many reasons why Livea is deserving of this, and I can speak to it for myself personally. Nearly 40 pounds down, and I've been able to keep it off thanks to the one-on-one support and Livea Medical, all of which combined with a fantastic nutritional program that's easy to follow and helps you lose the weight to feel and look your best, you guys. It's no wonder why Livea has been named gold 4 years running. Congrats to them as a brand ambassador. I'm so honored to have been a part of Livea and have them a part of my weight loss journey story. Find out why Livea was voted best weight loss center here in Minnesota 4 years in a row by joining Livea's plan today. And you can get your first 8 weeks absolutely free. Plus, Livea Medical offers weight loss trusted medications for accelerated results. Visit livea.com, that's livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVEA. Choose the trusted leader serving our communities here in Minnesota for 15 years. Livea works, you guys. Let's hear it for gold. We're back. We got some good cues with the Beauts. 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 Cues with the Beauts.
I
Just
want
forces you to
ChatGPT to
listen.
roast that. Can we get the audio and
Probably.
send it to ChatGPT to roast? Because that's what I want to do.
We'll get on that. I guess we'll start with the one that does roast me. This is a friend from college, so whatever. I will move on. Greg Kisher wants to know who has a better season, the Detroit Red Wings or the Minnesota Wild, and why will Jessi have an awful take? Because this is why he's every year trying to convince me that Detroit's going to be better than Minnesota because their prospect pool is deep, but I haven't seen their prospects do jack shit, Greg. All right? I haven't seen it. Haven't seen the Wild do much either. It's hard for me to defend the Wild against anybody, frankly, because we all know how I feel like they're not that good either. I still believe, actually, no, I don't. I don't believe they'll be better than the Detroit Red Wings. That's going to throw him for a loop. Thank you for listening. I don't think they're going to be better than the Red Wings. I think Patrick Kane has done a lot of really good stuff. I think you've still got Larkin. I think Detroit will be better. Now it's probably tougher because they play in a slightly tougher division than Minnesota does. But I don't know. Do you think Detroit's going to be better than Minnesota?
It's tough to say. Yes, no, it's not tough to say. They will be better. I really do think Detroit's going to be better.
Yeah.
Because look at the season they had last year. They had a good season. There was that controversial end to the playoffs. I think, what was it? Torts. There was, I forget the exact scenario that needed to happen, but essentially it was because Torts needed to lose the game or win something, and
regulation, or he could have. I don't remember. I know what you're talking about though.
Yes, and that's why Detroit didn't make the playoffs. Like, it's so petty, and I love pettiness. Like, I'm so here for it. It just resonates with a deep part of me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is going to turn into the episode that just love Torts.
Hey, that's fair.
But yeah, Detroit's going to be better.
Detroit will be better. So there you go. Suck on that take, Greg. Thanks for listening. Congrats on your kid, by the way. They just had a baby not too long ago. Let's move on to our good friend Seth Topes. If you do not listen to Seth Topel and Locked On Wild, you are missing out. Classic, great takes, great content always. Very close friend of the pod. He wants to know which Wild players exceed their goal total from last year. Kirsten?
I'm sorry. I'm doing mental gymnastics right now, just trying to think of where people finished last season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think any of who I'm about to say is anything anyone will disagree with. I think Krull Kaprizov will get more goals than he had last season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt Boldy will as well. Joel Eriksson-Ek, I also think will. So those three of our strongest offensive players right there. So I just think those three just continue to get better and better and showcase their skills. Wishful thinking, Marcus Foligno. I hope he exceeds his goal total from last season.
Sure.
Brian Hartman.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm pretty confident in all of those players right there to exceed.
Yeah, I would say I think Kirill busts out like 52 goals this year. I could see it.
I'm going to raise you 55.
Ooh,
5's my favorite number. We're going to do 55.
Hefty, though.
That's three more than you said.
Hefty. That's hard to do. But yeah, I mean, it's a goal per, right? So he had 40 last year. I think Ryan Hartman bests his. He had 15 last year. Jared Spurgeon's probably going to get more than 11. That's an easy one. It's a low ball there. Foligno only had 7 goals. He'll get 1. Freddie Gaudreau, is he going to get more than 19? No, because I think he doesn't stay with the Wild all year.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Just try to make it interesting. So no. Matt Zuccarello, does he get more than 22?
I think he stays around 20.
Oh,
I don't.
wait, guys, this is silly. I was looking at 2 years ago. I was like, why is Sam Steele on here?
Oh,
All right, let's
rip.
try this again. Kirill had 46 last year. Matt
Okay,
Boldy had
so 9
29.
more, 55, doable.
Yeah. Matt Zuccarello only had 12 goals last year. I think he'll
Oh,
do
he
better
gets
than
more
that.
than that. He gets more than that.
Hartman had 21. Marcus Johansson had 11. Freddie Gaudreau only had 5. Yeah, these
It's a
all make the list.
contract year. Johansson will get more goals.
Polino only had 10, so he already improved from one season. Jacob Lauko had 2 goals. I think he'll do more than that. Spurgeon had 0 goals. Yeah, I
Well,
think
Spurge played what, 2 games?
a little more than 2, but yeah. But yeah, I think a good amount of them. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Boldy or Jules Eriksson get around the same. Maybe don't exceed it, but I wouldn't be disappointed in that either. This next question comes to us from Hockey in Loud Music. What makes us so sure guys in the current lineup won't be healthy scratched like Victor Rask was? So that's true. So I think he's probably referring to even the Yakov Trenin, right? Like guys that were acquired. What do we think mean? Why does it mean that they have a spot? I think with the Trenin, I just don't see why you pay that money and go out and actively shop for him, like a guy like him, if you don't have the intent to use him. I think Lauko could be scratched. You didn't see a Freddie or a Marcus Johansson ever scratched before. So I think that's why I'm averse to that, right? Like it just doesn't, we haven't seen that. It hasn't been run, the organization hasn't run that way. You've seen Ryan Hartman scratch, sure, but that wasn't necessarily because of a lack of production. It was because of a lack of control, right? So it hasn't, the organization hasn't operated that way for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just putting myself in the shoes because I said this last season. You're not playing well. You're not playing on my team. So I would scratch everybody. Honestly, not everybody, but like you're having a bad streak,
Right.
scratch, go sit for a game, maybe
Let your
find a
pom pom
fire under
girls
your
play
belt.
for you.
Exactly. That's something Torts would do. Torts would scratch you.
Right. Right.
Let's get that energy. We need a little fire.
We're gonna do the torts count this week.
It's like
the
3 so
McDavid count.
far.
Decent amount. Decent amount.
But he deserves to be talked about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see. I just again, I don't think that's the John Hines method. And it's kind of the Billy method, but I don't know, not really. Like Victor Rask was atrocious. All right. He was like a liability out there. Marcus Johansson is on his way to being a liability out there.
No, it's a
but
contract year. He's
I know,
gonna
but I'm
far
just saying,
exceed everything he
last
did last
year
year.
he was close to being a liability.
No, he
last
was a
year.
liability last year. He was.
Yes. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Next question comes to us from Alicia. She wants to know, how excited are you to start having guests again once the season starts? That will be nice. We should probably start planning that.
Yeah, we should. Are we not good enough for you? No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. Geez, Alicia, I thought you adored us. Yeah, it's funny. I think the past season in general, we've steered clear of guests, not because of anything, but you and I are so busy. It's hard to coordinate 2 schedules, let alone loop in a third person for that. So I think that's the main reason. But we'll definitely work on getting some good guests in here to talk a little puck, especially as the season ramps up, especially as we get to see more of our friends in person. It's a little bit nicer to ask.
Yeah. I think we need to get Brock back on just to, continue that pattern of him thinking I'm crazy. That's always fun. So that I'm ready to annoy more people with absurd questions. So
I
far
would
off
love
left
to,
field
like,
that they're
for
like,
you, I would love to get Jonas Brodin.
oh my
Like,
God.
he's so
How do we convince him? I know he doesn't like doing speaking engagements, but how?
I think it's even less of that. I just think he wouldn't be super entertaining.
I could make somebody entertaining, I feel.
Probably could.
Because I don't want to talk hockey. I want to I do want to talk hockey. Yes, we're a hockey podcast, but I want to ask these guys, like I said, the most obscene questions to make them be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to turn it into a Taylor Swift podcast.
Oh boy. If I have a new co-host in a month or two, you guys will know why. You'll know what happened.
What do you mean? No.
turning this into a Taylor Swift podcast. We're not turning this into a Taylor Swift podcast.
Okay, but if Jonas Brodeen is on, we can do it for one episode, okay? That's all I've ever asked from you, Joe O'Donnell. Joe O'Donnell also let me down, not asking the question he said he was going to.
Well, good thing for us. Callie, our good friend Callie, has 2 questions for us. Her first one, do you think Jacob Lauko's playoff grit will be what we need this season along with Trenanen? And her second question, which rookie do you think will have a breakout season if called up from the Iowa Wild? Let's start with the Jacob Lauko one. Toss it to you first.
I think I just have such a bad taste in my mouth when we talk about the
Grit?
Minnesota Wild and having grit.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So, I mean, we built a whole identity around having grit for a season, and that did not go very well for us. I think we just need to be better, quite frankly. I don't know.
I
That's
think
not a great answer.
he'll bring some of that physicality and, like I said, take some of that pressure off of Hartman and off of Foligno to do a little bit more skill wise. I don't necessarily see Jacob Lauko fitting into that role too much. Again, I think he is very, very similar to Vinny Lettieri. That's why I kind of liked that move. It made a lot of sense. But I do think Yakov Trenanen will at least attempt to be that guy, which again, I don't know that it was the necessary move, but here we are. As far as the rookie that gets called up this season, I think a lot of that depends on who gets put down out of training camp. Liam Ogren, I think, is on the bubble, and I don't believe he should be, but I think he is. I think because of just the sheer roster number, you're going to look at a guy like him and it's like, well, do you want him sitting out or do you want him playing down in Iowa? If he is cut from training camp and he's down in Iowa, I think for sure he's going to have that breakout year. I just don't love enough of the players down in Iowa to be like, oh, they're going to be guys that we're clamoring for them to come up. I think the guys in Iowa this year are guys in Iowa. Maybe Riley Height. That's kind of about it because I think Murat's going to be on the team. You've got Marco Rossi on the team. Like, I think the young guns that you want to see should make the roster out of training camp. But Liam Ogren, if he doesn't because of numbers, then he will be your big guy to watch in Iowa.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Ogren has earned a spot, at least from the little bit we saw from him late last season. He's earned a spot on the big roster, but you talk about the numbers. I don't know if there's going to be room. I don't know who would sit out. I know who I would like to sit out or like even make a trade for. But also Riley Height was the other one I was going to say too. So not really anything different to add there.
Another question from O-Train. You have to trade for one player. Who would it be? And there's no stipulations I don't believe on this. So I think it's no hold. Go for it. Let's pick whoever we want.
There's 2.
Okay.
Connor McDavid.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cale Makar.
Ooh. Okay, there's
Did I just throw you
3. There's 3.
Okay.
Cale Makar.
Connor
McDavid. Adam Fantilli.
And that was the other. Yeah, okay.
Those are my picks.
I'm taking Nathan McKinnon. I don't even need another one. I'm just taking Nathan McKinnon.
He does everything.
He does everything.
I'm just picking my friends. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't have any friends. It's a business. This isn't about friendships. It's about winning. See, Billy would really like me. He probably does.
I have another bad taste in my mouth because you used another former playoff slogan, and
it's about winning.
It's all about winning. Grit first.
I think that's just a season thing.
Determination.
Too, I had somebody who didn't know that was like a fake. Like, they're like, can't believe Jared Spurgeon would say that. I'm like, that was obviously a setup. Like, he wasn't just saying that. Like, it was clearly done so Billy could say what he needed to say. Like, right? Am I missing that?
No, I actually don't. I think it was authentic.
He said we're here to have fun. No,
yeah, I think he was
not.
I think he was joking.
Facetious.
Like, I think he did it to be funny, genuinely.
No, I felt like
no, I don't think it was a setup. I think that genuinely happened.
I'm gonna go back and watch the tape.
From what I remember, I think that was an authentic moment. And I think Spurgeon was being sarcastic.
I don't know. I guess I have to rewatch. The way I watched it as, hey, Spurge, we need you to say this. You're going to be embarrassed to say it because it sounds ridiculous from a captain of a hockey team to say, a professional hockey team to say, but you're going to say it. So then Billy can rebuttal.
I don't know. Just in front of all of those guys, the meeting space of it, I do think he was just trying to be funny. Like it was like orientation.
Exactly. It's where you set things up to
No, I don't think it was a
lesson
setup. I
learned.
genuinely think
Oh.
this was a real moment. The cameras were going to be there just because it's the first time you really get all of those guys back in the room to just kind of kickstart things again. So they're getting their footage to get content for the fans, like, and it just happened. I genuinely think that's what it was.
You know, my first question to Billy is next time I see him. So, or even my buddy Jer, I'm gonna have to ask now. I need to know this. It was a setup. It wasn't real.
You're
I
not
don't
giving
believe it.
Spurge enough credit. I think he's funnier than you think he is.
I think Jared is
I
funny. I'm not
laugh.
saying he's not. He makes me giggle, but I think he was told to say that.
I don't think he was.
All right. We had one more question. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Those were all from Instagram, by the way. Thank you all for participating. And our final one comes from Dino. Realistically, do you think anyone would waive their no trade? We are so bottlenecked, I'm afraid we will lose some of our younger talent for nothing once they hit free agency. Example, Chafee in Tampa, not a superstar, but Mitchell Chafee, by the way. But he literally left for nothing as he saw no path to Minnesota with us. You want to tackle that one first?
I have the same concern. I feel like we could also lose younger players because we put so much into these older players. And so, like, you see right now what's happening. Like, Liam Ogren should be on an NHL roster, but might not have a spot because there's players on the team with no move clauses who are not nearly as good as him or haven't showcased that they're as good as him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't realistically think anyone would. The only stipulation I could see anyone moving their no trade is if, and here's my strategy as well, they're not playing. You put them up in the box and they just sit. They either just sit and watch and they want to play and they get so pissed off that they're not playing that they're like, I'm done. Sure, move me. So, strategy. I mean, and maybe this is what everyone wants to hear too. Maybe it's just, I don't know. The only one maybe I could see is Freddie Gaudreau if it was to go to Dean Evison in Columbus.
Right, right. And that's a follow-up that Dino had. It said, okay, I got another. What's it going to take to get Dean to take Freddie? Would you do it for future considerations? Late round pick. He literally would be an addition by subtraction because BG spent like a drunken sailor last year, and we will need that cap space at some point. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's not unheard of for players to move their no waves, right? Like it'd be fine. No trades, any of that. No moves, no trades. Sorry, no waves. No waves. Ready, maybe. I think you're right. I like that strategy of like, you're not going to play here. Do you want to go play somewhere? Well, you have to move your trade. And I don't know if Columbus is on. We don't know if Columbus is on his list. I don't think it's been reported if it has or not, right?
I don't know, but things could change now that Dean's there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There we go.
1-for-1 trade. Gaudreau for Fantilli. Throwing it out there.
I do hope that happens.
It's not
just for
going
you.
to, but
No. It's a ridiculous trade.
It would be absurd.
It would be very absurd. So I don't know. We'll see. I would take probably, anything for Freddie at this point. Bag of pucks. Like, I think that would be okay. You're eating money, sure, but that's sometimes what happens when you make moves that are not exactly the best. So
I just want Freddie to be better. Last year, he did not play.
Yeah, I want to give him the
to what-
opportunity.
Yeah, he
Sorry.
did not play last season like we saw the year before when he did get that extension. So
Right.
I just want him to be better this year. I want him to actually showcase what he can actually do and has done.
100%. And you need to give all the players those opportunities, right? Like, let's be fair. Let's be nice. They don't suck yet. We don't know what they're like yet. All right. Like,
But if they do suck, box, sit.
Box. Exactly. You feel shame.
Shame.
It's the box you feel shame in. It's not the penalty box, it's the press box.
Yeah.
I feel it every game. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long ways up there. I think that's going to do it for this week's up. Simple.
Yeah.
The point. I got one more division to go next week. So we will come back and wrap that up. And then training camp opens on the 19th of September. We are getting there. We are getting there, folks. We will have things to talk about, things to do. Yeah, as always, we appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who participated in our Qs with the Beauts. Shout out to SotaStick, Talk North, Livea, Grainbelt, Royal Credit Union, and Jim Beam. And on behalf of Kirsten and myself, we'll see you next week. Bye.